Oh my gosh.
What?
I'm so excited about this episode.
Oh, yay! I'm so excited about your hair.
Thanks.
Your hair is amazing, Brittany.
Thanks.
Look at you.
I got
Did
it
you get all
cut off? I do love
love
it.
it?
Fun. I get to curl it and do things to it. I love it.
Do you
like,
do you like to curl it and do things to it?
Well, yeah, occasionally I do. And
Okay.
so we're going to be talking about this a little bit today, but have you ever heard of TBN, Trinity Broadcasting Network?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, TBN they are known for being, oh God, I don't even know how to describe them. We're definitely going to talk about them. But anyway, every single woman on there has huge hair. You got to have the big hair, right? To be a Christian. And
to be Christian.
When I had long hair.
Yes.
Yeah. When I had long hair, I would like to curl it and do stuff to it, but I always felt like I should be on TBN. So now it's nice because I can just I can do it's just like little curls instead of like, whoa.
Yes.
Praising Jesus.
Praising Jesus. The closer your hair is to God,
exactly,
the closer your soul is to the Lord.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
So, today, Kristen, we are talking about Carman.
Carman.
Okay, do you know about Carman? You said you saw him on the last episode. You said you saw.
Yes, I've seen Carman perform. Yes, I have.
Oh my gosh, I did too.
Quite a showman, that Carman.
He was. Okay, so Carman was born Carmelo Dominique Licciardello.
That makes me hungry.
Because of Carmelo?
Automatically makes me hungry.
Which, ironically, Carman was a milk chocolate creamy Italian American.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of ethnically ambiguous.
He was Italian.
Well, I know, but I mean, he looked ethnically ambiguous.
I think he wanted to be ethnically ambiguous because I think he was very Italian, but I think he wanted to, you look back on some of his videos, he definitely wanted to be a rapper of the day. And,
well,
he wanted to play
kind of an afro type hair. He sported that quite a while.
He had the mob hair. He was really big into the mob and the mob stories and everything because he's Italian, right? So he loved the mob stories. Right. He had some amazing mob hair. Yeah, of the guys, and wore the suits like the mobsters and everything. Yeah. He was really in touch with his culture. So his mother, well, I thought this was interesting. She was a child prodigy on the accordion.
On the accordion. Nice.
Isn't that adorable?
Yes.
And she had this little band. These three.
As a child, she did? Or
no,
later?
Teenager, and then in her 20s and later, because Carman played drums for his mom's band.
Oh, well, what do you know?
And then he started his own little band, and he wanted to, try his hand at music, so he moved to Vegas to try to be a lounge act.
Okay. Well,
which he kind of did.
Fits the bill. Yeah.
I know.
Perfectly fits the bill for a lounge act. Yeah.
I know.
But he moved so far beyond the lounge. I mean, he was like basically a Christian arena artist.
Oh,
he played huge venues. Yeah. He
has the biggest recorded venue ever. More than like any pop, Pink Floyd, Michael Jackson, Elvis. What? He has the biggest recorded audience. Like 70 plus.
What do you mean by venue? Okay. 70
70,000 plus people in attendance at one
really?
concert. Yeah, which I have to say doesn't 80,000 attendees. This was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, of course.
Of course.
Largest concert ever. Now, it doesn't surprise me because I don't know if you remember this or not, but all of his concerts were free to attend.
I don't know because I saw him only as part of a music festival. I never
Well,
saw
we
him
could see
individually.
him because we were so poor, and we
Yeah.
could go and see him because all of his concerts were free, and it was just a fun thing to do. Now, they did take the
Nice. So
love
did he make his
offering.
money off of merch? Oh, and a love offering. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, love offering, merch, royalties. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if a concert is free, of course you're going to get 80,000 people there. People will come from all over to go to a free concert.
Right. Which is actually freaking brilliant marketing because you get
Yeah.
80,000 people there, especially if you get like a cut of
Yes.
concessions or something like that. And you get, yeah, a love offering. So
A
the love
love
offering,
offering.
yeah, a love offering alone of, of 20% of the people there
Yes.
would would cover the cost of however many paying people
Yes.
would come anyway. So then, and then
Yes.
you have an extra 60,000 or what 80% of the people that are still buying merch or
All of the merch
yeah,
and the love offering. Come on,
yeah.
that's going to be. I mean, he
Oh,
probably didn't make
he's raking in.
tons, but he's raking it in.
Well, if 80,000 people are there, he's raking in, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
He is raking it in. Now, the other thing, and we're definitely going to get into this, but Carmen had two businesses and they were both they were both nonprofits.
Okay.
So he's has all of this money that he's bringing in. It's all tax free. He doesn't have to pay taxes. And so, yeah, he was raking in quite a bit. The other thing that he
Oh.
did was he had Kickstarters and GoFundMe's. So he
That wasn't
constantly,
even a thing back then, was it?
yeah. Well,
It
maybe not in the
not in that
80s,
form,
but
but
yeah, as soon as it started,
oh, okay.
Jay jumped right on that bandwagon and they had people funding his tours and
Okay.
his concerts and everything. So, yeah,
Carmen, Carmen.
yeah, oh, Carmen. So, okay, getting back to Carmen's history, he eventually moved so the lounge act thing didn't work out,
Right,
as we
right.
can safely assume. He eventually moves to California where his sister lives, and her husband, who was a pastor of a
Mm.
church that's still going called Sunlight Christian Center in
Oh,
Orange, California. It is still operating.
Orange,
And
California, or Orange County, California?
Orange, California.
Okay. I didn't realize that was a city in itself.
Well, that's what I have here, but it might not be. And I
Who knows?
know nothing about geometry.
Or
So,
geography, or
geography.
California.
Exactly. so, um, so the pastor was concerned about Carmen's salvation
Oh, okay.
and invited him to Disneyland, which is out there in California, to a
Which is how you
Christian.
win people to Jesus.
It is. We were talking about the Christian music festivals last week,
Oh,
right? And how sometimes these big amusement parks and stuff will hold a full day of Christian music.
yes.
Well, that's what he invited him to
At Disneyland.
so that he could go listen to the music.
Oh.
And Andre Crouch, which is like a gospel singer back in the
Mhm.
day,
I've heard that name.
he went to his concert and that's where he gave his life to Jesus
Through the music.
through the music.
Amazing. Okay.
And so I mean, Carmen's also a pretty good businessman. So I think he said, didn't work in Vegas. Might work with these Christians. So he started doing some Christian music.
Doesn't work in Sin City. So I'm going to go to Angel Town.
Well, he said he shoot, where's the quote? It's so great. He said um it didn't I moved from the nightclubs to the light clubs.
Oh, of course.
Of course. Right. So then in 1980, he produced his first album called God's Not Finished with Me
Aw.
and was invited to tour with the Bill Gaither Trio, which we
Nice.
mentioned
We did. We were
last
talking
time.
about
Do
Bill.
you know anything about these people?
No, I don't. I mean, I've
Okay.
heard, but no.
Oh my gosh. Well, I will play a little snippet
Okay.
when we take a break as part of this
Okay.
podcast so that people can hear
Yeah, the Bill Gaither Trio.
the Bill Gaither
Okay.
Trio. There's husband and wife and a brother, I think. And they are one of the biggest, most successful musical acts in Christendom.
Okay.
So many albums. And I mean, they started really early. So this was a big deal for him to go on tour with the Bill Gaither Trio.
Yeah, yeah.
Huge deal.
So he's getting his name out there.
He is getting his name out there. Now, his first album, which I will also play for people because it's amazing. It's very much in the Bill Gaither Trio style of little Carman, just kind of lounge act doing his little music thing.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I'll play some of that too. But he kind of starts to, he's a young guy, so he starts to jump on the 80s bandwagon. In 1982, he produces an album called Some Dat.
Oh.
SOMEO Dat.
Some Dat.
That is some of that. Give me some of that.
Yeah.
Give me some of that. Jesus.
Give me some of that. Carman.
You want some of that? You want some of this holiness coming out of me? You want some of this light that I'm filled with? You want some of that?
You want some of that delicious Carmelo?
You want some of that?
That's right.
Well, that was pretty popular. But it wasn't until 1985 when he produced his first #1 single, The Champion. Do you remember that song?
Oh, yes.
The Champion is this monologue set to music, right? It's the storytelling of Jesus and Satan in the boxing ring.
Yeah.
And Jesus comes out as the champion.
Of course.
Now, if you saw him in concert, you probably saw this acted out. When you saw him at the festivals, did he have the costumes and Satan dressed up and the demons and all the things?
I honestly don't remember.
You don't.
I was probably busy
you were so
purpling with my boyfriend.
Focused on purpling.
I was purpling with my boyfriend.
Oh my God. Well, I remember his concerts so well because that's what it was. It was just all of that. It was the entire stage just made up like some kind of a movie set, where and then the demons would come out in costume and then Satan would be there and Carman would knock him out. And,
nice.
Well,
there was probably a lot more. He probably did a lot more theatrics at his headlining concerts than he did at the music festivals where everybody's sharing a stage and it's kind of just
right.
But I
Yeah.
do remember that, yeah, that it was very theatric in nature,
Oh,
and I just
so
remember it
much.
was fun and super entertaining. That's mainly what I remember about
Yes.
the experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, as I've been looking at this the last couple weeks, there are very mixed opinions about Carmen because some people went and they were like, it was the best ever. It was so entertaining. It was fun. It was amazing. And some people were completely traumatized by how terrifying it was and scary because he was very focused on. I mean, we've talked about the
Oh,
satanic
spiritual
panic,
warfare.
and
Yeah.
this was in that era. I mean, he jumped on the satanic panic bandwagon and, Satan and those demons are out there and, it it could be terrifying for a little child to see these demons on stage and Satan's there and now, there's always, Jesus or Carmen cuz Carmen also battled Satan. Would come out victorious in the
Yeah.
end,
Yeah.
but that could be really scary for a kid as well. So it was kind of both.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He kind of jumped on some of that stuff. So
Well, we don't want the children to have a satanic panic.
no, we don't. No. But you can be victorious through Jesus was the whole idea. And that was kind of his message all along. He was very
Yeah.
much about spiritual warfare and stuff, but that there is a victor.
Yes.
That's Jesus.
In
So
Jesus Christ.
that's right. Carmen is one of the most successful Christian artists of all time.
Yeah.
From the time he recorded his first to last albums, he did 23 albums, another 11
23?
compilations,
Oh
23
my
albums,
heavens.
and then 11 compilations with other artists in multiple languages.
Wow.
He
Carmen.
earned 6 gold records, 1 platinum record.
Nice.
He was nominated for 4 Grammys, which is a big deal because that's music across the board.
Yeah,
And
right.
then he
He's crossing over.
won. Well, he tried. I mean, I don't think he tried. Like, he didn't want to become fully a pop artist, but I think he wanted his music to go far and wide, of
Yeah,
course, because he
right.
wanted to spread the message of Jesus.
Spread the message.
And then he won 6 Dove Awards, solely Christian music awards, the
Right.
Dove
Right.
Awards. Yeah, he won 6 of those.
I'm kind of surprised it's only 6, actually, given his 23 albums and 11 compilations.
You can't give the guy everything.
Well,
Other people have to win from time to time.
I suppose. I suppose.
He can't have it all. Yeah. Do you remember the song Satan Bites the Dust?
No. Can you sing it?
It's kind of, again, not really a song. A lot of his
Yeah.
quote unquote songs were theatrical monologues set to some kind of music.
Yes. Kind of like ballads. I mean, in their
Yes.
storytelling nature, but then,
Yes.
but yes, also, yeah, monologues. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to have to play some clips for sure.
I will definitely play it throughout this and put
Yeah.
some in there.
If I would have been smart, I would have listened to some Carmen music leading up to this podcast to prepare myself so that I could answer your questions affirmatively. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It's been like 30 years.
Right. Well, Satan Bites the Dust is if listen, here it wasn't just the songs, it was his music videos. Okay, we're also in a time of MTV, which of
Mm.
course his videos were not on MTV, but the videos were huge in making him popular because if if you watch the video Satan Bites the Dust, it's a Western theme, of
Oh,
course. So Carmen rides in on a horse. You don't know it's Carmen,
okay.
but you see this figure in a
Oh.
in a duster jacket,
Whoa.
and there's a gun, He's got a gun in his holster, but the gun is buzzing with electricity because it's really the word of God.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And then Carman walks into this saloon, this
Ka-ching,
Western
ka-ching,
saloon.
ka-ching, with his
Exactly.
spurs, jingle,
His
jingle, jingling.
spurs.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're picturing it.
Oh, yeah.
There's a piano player in the corner. People are playing poker. There's a bar, and there's the bartender with the ladies and everything. And some of them are normal people, and some of them are demons. Ironically, this is my mother texting me. Okay, so I told my mom, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna be doing an episode on Carman." She was like, "Oh, now
Don't you saying.
you're not gonna make fun of him, are you? He's dead."
Oh, is he dead?
Yes.
I didn't know he was dead. Well, what? We're not allowed to make fun of dead people? I mean, what, are we not gonna say
Listen,
anything bad
you
about
need to
Hitler because now he's dead? He took his own
honor.
life, that poor Hitler. That poor soul. So let's
We're
not talk
we're
bad
not
about
gonna talk bad about him.
him.
I said yes. We are gonna make fun of Carman. So what of
Love you,
this?
Mom. Definitely making fun of
We're
Carmen.
definitely making fun of Carmen. Don't listen. Probably not the episode for you. I don't think she listens to any of these. Probably best.
I don't
So
think my mother does either. She tried to listen to the first one and it wasn't working out for her on her
no.
phone and she gave up. And like as soon as she learned that there might be cursing in our podcast, she was like, "Oh, Kristen, why?" And then
Why,
why,
Kristen?
why?
Why?
Why do you have to taint everything with your foul mouth? And so I think that she was like, "No,
She can't
I'm
do it.
not I'm not gonna lend my ears to
Well,
something."
my
Yeah.
sister said that she did watch one of our little teasers where we talk about Jesus's penis, and
Yeah.
she was like, no, no.
Well, how does she think that he peed? That would be my question to
We
her.
no,
We don't
Jesus.
speak
I'm
of Jesus peeing.
sure Jesus had a penis, but there's no reason to talk about that.
We don't need to speak of it.
We don't talk about genitalia
Okay.
as Christians.
Right.
So
Now, is your sister married?
no,
Oh. Okay.
she's young. She's very young. I have a sister much, much younger than me, but
Okay.
she, we're not.
All right. No.
No.
Okay.
So there was somebody who I found who was not familiar with Carmen, but was reviewing some of his stuff, and it was some of the funniest quotes I've ever read. He said, Carmen possesses one of the strangest careers of anyone making music, lacking any sort of talent that might break him through to a secular audience, and largely too tacky for even the most diehard Christian music fans. Carmen appeals to the same sort of person who watches the Trinity Broadcasting Network on a regular basis.
And there it is, the Trinity Broadcasting.
Sold out for Jesus and lacking any sort of connection to modern culture. In one video called Slam, Carmen parades around and whacks an incredibly sexy Satan with a big candy cane. Which he does.
Wow. That kind of sounds like a Miley Cyrus kind of video, if you ask.
Oh, which of course I had to watch the video, and he
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
he does
Satan
it.
is very sexy, has a great body. Oh, built, fit, hot.
Wow. So does
And
he lick the candy off of her?
off of her, who?
Off of she's Satan.
Oh,
Does Carmen, if
no,
he's
it's a
whacking her
male.
with a candy cane?
It's a male. Satan
Oh.
is male.
Well, then who's got the sexy body?
Satan. Men have sexy bodies, Kristen. What? When you hear the word sexy, you think it's a female. Men
Yeah,
can have very sexy bodies.
I suppose. I suppose they can.
This is why you're not succeeding in your date life.
Okay, so I was an art major, and I took, what, 3 semesters of figure drawing, so nude figures. I hated it when we had male models because they're so atrocious to draw. There's no, they're so
What?
boxy and weird, and their junk is all misshapen. No, women have all these lovely organic curves, and
Oh.
no, women's bodies are so much more appealing.
Oh, wow. I completely disagree.
And all that to say, I'm still straight, but I not that it matters one way, but I am. I'm
Okay.
straight.
Okay. Yeah, you
You
sound
know,
it.
now. Oh yeah, I believe you now.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Women have all these gorgeous curves and their bodies are so
They
amazing to
do.
draw and look at. Sexy.
They they are.
Yes. And
And
this
men
was a
can
very
have
sexy
uh,
Satan. Yeah.
okay.
He had an amazing body, very
Okay.
sexy physique,
Okay.
muscles in the chest and he was
Okay.
hot. I'm gonna give that to him.
All right.
And then Carmen runs around and whacks him with a candy cane
And didn't
or some kind
lick
of
off the
stick. He's
candy
whacking
residue.
him with a stick.
Oh, okay. So regardless of
Oh,
Satan's
jeez.
sex,
Yeah, yeah.
Carmen did not lick off the candy. That's really what I
No.
was trying to get at.
No. Carmen was, I mean, so, you bring up an interesting point because as far as we understand, Carmen was heterosexual.
Okay.
Although there were some rumors
Hmm. As there often are.
that so I don't know if you knew about this, but Carmen was called the perpetual bachelor.
Uh, well, I wonder. Didn't think he'd ever been married, had he?
Well, not that we talked about
Oh,
within Christian circles.
I see.
Yes. Do you want to know the
Okay.
story?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, he had been married.
Okay, to women or men?
Well, to a woman.
Okay.
Here's the story. He had a friend named Mario.
Mm-hmm.
Mario had a wife named Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
Carmen and Rosa, they were friends.
Oh, I see. He wanted her to model in figure drawing class.
And then one day she left Mario
Oh,
for Carmen. They
okay.
ran off to Vegas, of course.
Of course.
Got married on Elvis's birthday.
Oh, how romantic.
And
Is this
then
during his lounge singing days?
no, no, mm-mm.
This is during his Christian
Yes.
music days?
Hmm.
Oh, Carmen.
A couple months later, he files for an annulment and then pays her hundreds of thousands of dollars to never talk about it and never use the name Licciardello.
Okay.
A lot of hush money involved in that one.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I was like, is this just a rumor? Is this actually a thing? On ancestry.com, it does show that there are marriage records. Now, he got an annulment, so people say that doesn't count
Well, I doubt that
because
she left her husband, Mario, to be with Carmen if they didn't consummate the marriage.
I'm sure they consummated way before there was ever a
I'm
marriage.
sure they did too. And I'm sure that she was not, quote unquote, um, my brain just dropped it. Cut this part. But what's it called when you,
Virgin,
no, that's a word I am so, no. Um,
chaste.
no, God. Um, um, like, coerced. When you're
Oh,
I'm sure she was not coerced
into
into
this
marrying him.
relationship.
Yeah.
No. No.
So, under what grounds are they ennobled?
No.
And are they Catholic?
No,
Because they throw
no.
enrollments around like willy-nilly. They're like, "Okay,
Well,
annulled. You've been married 47 years. Annulled."
he was Catholic in that moment so that he could get an annulment.
Right.
He was suddenly
Yeah.
Catholic. We're gonna get the Pope to annul this or something.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Boy.
So he was only married to her for a couple months, as far as I understand, but I think there was like an ongoing relationship where he was dating her or seeing her behind the scenes or whatever. Anyway, there's also some rumor of a love triangle between him, Mario, and then some woman named Oksana, some Russian woman.
Mm.
And that is reported multiple times across the internet. So possibly Mario was okay with this happening because maybe Carmen and Mario were also kind of in a thing.
So
And then
maybe
she
they were
left
all
him and
swinging?
they may have been.
Yeah.
It's what I understand is that maybe there was a lot of switching and partners and swinging and
Okay.
stuff going on behind the scenes. He was
Carmen, if you
also
want oh, no, Carmen's dead. I
Carmen is no longer around.
was gonna tell Carmen if he wants to set the record straight, he can contact us, but I ain't
If
pulling out a Ouija board for him to do so. So tough,
no,
Carmen. You're getting
mm-mm.
you're getting drugged through the mud.
Well, I don't think we're dragging him through the mud. I think we're just telling things as they were, and if he didn't want things to be told as they were, maybe he shouldn't have acted that way.
Right.
Maybe the behavior should have been a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
He tried very hard, I think, to keep a lot of things quiet. He was called because all of this was kept out of any kind of news. Nobody talked about these
Right.
marriages, nobody talked about the annulments. He
Uh-huh.
was essentially a perpetual virgin
Oh, a
who
perpetual virgin.
who was not
Oh,
married. He was
okay.
never married, never dated anybody. He was called the perpetual bachelor who did not marry until he was 61 years old. Well, he did. He
Hmm.
had many relationships, but they were just not talked about because we don't talk about those things.
Right. And if it's
So,
annulled, it's not a real
it's not a
marriage.
real thing.
It's
Right.
erased to the sight of God.
Out of God's book of life, he takes his little eraser and he just erases it.
Yes, I'm
White as
sure.
snow.
Sorry.
Gosh. So, he ends up marrying Dana. Okay, Carmen
Okay.
is 61 at the time. Dana is 42,
Okay.
which is, people have their opinions about that. 40,
Yeah.
20-year difference. Okay, but he marries Dana. She is a very successful business executive, beautiful blonde woman, and they get married. It's this big thing. He now has all of these. He files for divorce less than 2 years later.
Oh. Hmm.
I have no idea why. So basically, they were divorced. Carmen, so he has all of this success and everything, but he also then got cancer
Oh.
later on in life. So he got cancer in his 50s and he battled it
Before he married Dana? Okay.
before. Yeah, so he had battled cancer, went to remission, battled cancer, went to remission. And every time he went into remission, it was because it was the faith of his fans that was saving his life and bringing him
Oh.
back every single time.
Oh, thank goodness. It wasn't the chemo treatments. It was
No,
definitely his fans.
it was the love offerings, I'm sure.
Yeah.
His GoFundMe's,
Yeah.
every time you put the $5 in the bucket, you are showing God your
You
faith.
are killing the cancer.
killing the
in my
cancer
body.
with your
Yeah.
$5 with your
Mhm.
$5 donation. Um, really, I know we're kind of making light of that, but this is exactly what Carmen was saying. Okay, so I found a post that he made that said, "I need you to help me continue this work. 40 years ago, I heard Andre Crouch sing just 2 songs and I was born again.
Wow.
And I would go on to lead over 1 million people to Christ myself, just from the simplicity of the word of God put to song."
Wow, himself, not,
Himself.
Jesus, not the spirit.
He did it himself. He
Himself.
brought a
Yeah.
million people to Jesus himself. "I
Wow.
need you to help me continue this great work by joining me in our all caps Night of Victory campaign in GoFundMe.
Oh,
There's a couple of days left to get your year-end 100% tax-free donation. Don't allow the government to just collect your tax money when you can, quote, redirect it to change lives for Christ. Please act fast, soon. Share this post. Help me. We need you. God bless you."
wow, that sounds super manipulative.
Yeah, he was very much a televangelist.
Yeah.
Right? Like, very and this he became this way more and more as he got older. Very and that's very much how TBN is, televangelists who are
Mhm.
like, "We need you to plant the seed. We need you to keep paying the money." Blah 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 blah, right? And so these people come and they send their little $5 donations to continue the work because he beat cancer and he's bringing lives to Jesus. And so they would give their little donations
Oh
to
boy.
his GoFundMes and stuff like that. And so as I was researching that, that's what made me the most sad because I grew up loving Carmen so much. I mean, I loved his
Yeah.
music, I loved
Yeah.
everything about him, I loved the concerts. But then when you dig a little bit deeper and see this kind of stuff and how he was kind of manipulating people and he had a nonprofit where he was raising so much money.
Mhm.
And I actually looked at his nonprofit financial records.
You did?
I
You were
did.
able to dig
Bringing
them up?
in
Yeah.
yeah, bringing in so much money, but then showing that he wasn't making anything, a huge, like, expense. We didn't make anything, and Carmen, in his financial records, showed that he never made more than 140,000 a year.
Mm.
So he was
And
getting
yet,
a
yeah.
paycheck from these companies, but he was not making anything. But his business, so the last place that he lived, girl, I was doing some research.
I guess. My gosh,
The
tell me
last
about it.
place that he lived before he died was a multi-million dollar home in Tennessee
Off of
that
his $140,000.
the business bought this $4.5 million home for him.
Oh, that's handy. Yeah.
Now people have said, "Well, but that was also that's the place where his nonprofit resides. That's a company
Well, you can only
property."
write off a portion of that. You can't write off the whole property.
So, I mean, he was
Oh,
living
man.
very well.
Yeah.
So, and hey, if he's brought a million people to Jesus by himself,
By himself
then I
through
guess he
his
has
own
the right to
power.
live in a multi-million dollar home with a jet and all the things, whatever.
I guess. But you know what, Brittany? This is just another example of the trillions throughout history of men and women, like mankind,
Yes.
followers of Jesus, quote unquote, that are nothing like Jesus.
Yes, thank you. He was eventually inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2018. And Carmen went on to become a life coach.
What?
Oh
What?
my gosh. I almost peed myself.
Who was, oh my, who,
I'm putting this on the website.
okay,
There
who
is
is he
a
coaching?
there's an advertisement He went on and studied life coaching, and then he started advertising his own life coach services. So you could hire Carmen to be your life coach, and no lie, it's 4 pictures of him
Oh my god.
doing life things.
That
Not like stock photos of people like struggling and reading their Bible and stuff. It's all pictures of him.
of him. I did life once.
I
Now I can
can
teach you how
I
to
can
do it.
teach you how to do it. I've never been married that
Not
you know of.
really, but
I'm
I
a
did
virgin,
swing with a
but
couple. Okay.
but I've
Hmm.
led 1,000,000 people to
No, by myself.
Jesus.
So
Which
I
I
can
think
lead
is,
you through
listen,
your struggle to find a new job. I'm a life coach.
as
Oh,
a
Lord.
licensed therapist, it is just appalling to me that someone like Carmen would be able to go through this. And I mean, it's just, ew. It is just cringy. Pictures of him. Who needs a life coach? We all need a life coach because the topic here is, quote, life itself. And all of the challenges that present themselves don't have simple solutions. Call Carmen.
Oh, my word. Okay. So, not that someone can't turn their life around at a later age and learn from their many, many mistakes and use those for betterment and to help guide others through similar struggles. Totally believe that that is a possibility. But to glamorize oneself by posting photos of oneself to I'm doing
Girl, you
life.
should see these photos.
You
Yeah.
can do life too. Oh my gosh.
We need wise counsel, but that counsel has to be custom made for our lives and not just some generic person.
What? That's what it says?
Yes.
Does it really? Not just some
Yes.
generic person?
Just some, not some generic person like a licensed mental health clinician.
Right.
Not some
It
generic person.
it needs to be somebody who's been on stage a lot and is now in desperate need of money. Someone whose career has burnt out and now wants to profit off of his once
Okay.
image. Okay, that
Here are some 30 examples of real life dilemmas that we could deal with in our life coaching sessions.
this is on
Number
Carmen's
one,
website.
girl, I'm putting this on our website too because it's so amazing.
Okay.
I need to control my spending habits.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, says the guy who
Carmen's
only made 140,000 a year,
right.
but has a
And
multi-million
lived in a
dollar
mansion.
ranch and the
Wow.
whitest teeth you've ever seen in your life.
Right. Okay.
How do I begin a full-time ministry? How do I forgive someone who's never asked for forgiveness? Though through so many heartbreaks, I've lost the fire for God I once had. How do I get it back? Oh,
I'm fighting the devil in a
I've,
saloon.
oh, this one's on there twice. I've just been diagnosed with a fatal illness because he had cancer. So he
Yeah.
put that one on there twice.
Yeah.
I've been diagnosed with a fatal illness. How do I readjust my thinking? I'm a pastor and feeling ineffective. I'm not accomplishing my goals.
Hmm.
How do I make myself more appealing in my marriage? How
Well,
do
he
I make
knows
myself more appealing to my husband?
he knows both sides of it, doesn't he? He's like, I can tell you what's appealing to me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Carmen. Wow. I kind of wish that he had life coached me a little bit.
Ugh.
I feel like I could have gained so much from his wisdom.
Wow. As a therapist, that is so cringe. I kind of wish I had to just so I could have heard what he said. What
Right.
kind of advice is Carmen giving?
Yeah, if anyone out there, any of our listeners have used Carman as a life coach,
please contact us. What were his rates?
right? We will pay you to tell us your story.
How much did
Oh,
you had to pay per hour for Carman as a life coach? Oh
oh,
my gosh, did he take insurance?
no, he took a love offering.
Right. I'm sure his life coaching sessions were
What
free, just a love
love
offering.
offering?
Right. I'm sure. All right, so we have some comments about Carmen
Oh, I
that
want
I
to hear
thought
all
I
about
would
it.
share with you today. Yes. So, um any good memories from a Carmen concert? Um Danderson, 24, said that he or she went to a Carmen concert when they were between 8 to 10 years old, and Zoe Girl opened for them. That was a
Zoe
name
girl.
I know. I hadn't thought about Zoe Girl in a long time. Do you remember them?
Yeah.
Yes. Very top row, couldn't see anything, but quite the show. I know there was a lot of dancing. And I remember it looking or being very loud. There was a terrifying looking Satan,
Oh,
which, yeah, I don't think we'll ever see another CCM artist like him in our lifetime. That's probably very true because he was
very.
a very good showman.
Mm-hmm. But he was
Yeah.
also very cheesy, and I think Christian mainstream Christian
Yeah.
music has moved beyond that for the most part. Yeah.
Yes. Choosy Beggar said he was my very first concert. I remember
Oh,
the opener was a guy who played banjo with his feet because he was born without any arms.
oh, wow.
Don't think I really remember seeing Carmen that much, but Petra also played with them.
Well,
Probably sang that stupid song.
that's a pretty impressive ticket right there. Then
A
I
guy
mean,
with played the
harmless
banjo with his
banjo
feet.
boy, yeah,
Petra.
and Carmen and Petra.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. This one, um Derpy Pitbull
Oh,
says
derpy,
after his
derpy, derp.
concert, he started advertising Christian long distance phone service.
And if you give a love offering, you can get 10 minutes of free
Free
long distance.
Christian long distance phone service.
Yeah, for Christians only, connecting with Christians.
Well, Kristen, that is Carmen. Man, there's a
Okay,
lot there.
it's a lot.
Woo, there's a lot there. What are we doing next week?
Oh, Brittany, next
Oh.
week we're going to be talking about my favorite place to dine and every person that loves Jesus' favorite place to dine,
Oh.
Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A.
Or what my sister calls bigot chicken.
You know, there's so
Okay.
much controversy on both sides now, Brittany. I mean, Chick-fil-A has been attacked by the left for years and years, but
Oh.
more recently, the
Oh.
right-wingers have started attacking Chick-fil-A too, so poor Chick-fil-A, damned if they do, damned if they don't.
Poor Chick-fil-A.
Poor Chick-fil-A, still the
Oh,
number
man.
1 chicken restaurant in the nation.
Oh, I can't wait to talk about Chick-fil-A. I got some
Oh,
stories for you, girl.
I can't wait to hear them. Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm hungry.
Yes.
Now I want chocolate, and I want milk
I
chocolate covered caramel, and I want Chick-fil-A.
want my bigot chicken.
Okay.
Okay, well, we will see you next time. Thank you,
Um,
everyone, for joining us. We appreciate you. And talk to you next week.
Farewell.